All right, good morning from the chilly Northeast. Yes, I've transitioned from Florida back up to the Northeast for the season, and you get to see my first stripers. This video breaks into two parts. I'll be in the kayak, and then I'm going to be doing some shore fishing. You see that beautiful clear water down there? Well, it's clear and it's cold. It's the water temp's in the 40s here, so yeah, things are just getting started. For those of you not familiar with my channel, I'm John Skinner. I spend 7 months of the year fishing the Northeast and 5 months of the year fishing Florida. All right, so let's get going and see what we can do. This channel is supported by my online fishing courses at saltstrong.com/Skinner, as well as my books. Remember, those books make great gifts. You can learn more about the books at johnskinnerfishing.com and on Amazon. All right, good morning from the balmy Northeast. Yeah, so you see how I'm dressed. This is my season icebreaker with the kayak. It really kind of is an icebreaker. So when I launched, it was just a few minutes ago, it was 33 degrees. But when I was driving over here in the center of Long Island, it was 23 degrees. But I've got nice conditions. I have 52.7 degree water. I don't see anything on top. It's early. I might not catch anything. Sometimes you just have to do a trip just to, go through the motions first time. But we'll see. I've got some nice current right now. See if I can catch something, anything. All right. First cast of Northeast season. I was gonna just try a little top water in this one spot. Now I'm gonna move on to a bucktail spot. I'll have links to all of the gear in the video description, and if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Yeah, I made three casts there, but there's plenty on top water. If something's there, it's going to swirl it. All right, moving up to the bucktail spot. Hey, nice thing about the autopilot, it's the Old Town autopilot, is it really is like on autopilot. I'm not steering, and I can do stuff moving around. All right, so what am I doing? I'm going through my bucktails, just picking out what I figure I'm going to be using just based on what I see for current and conditions and so forth. And basically, in these waters, I'm using like 1 to 1.5 ounces. Yeah, there's a bucktail actually you're going to see a lot of on the second part of this video. So my previous video was my last video in Florida, and if you haven't seen it, I would highly encourage it because this happened. And to the left of the screen, the giant tarpon that contributed to that somewhat of a disaster. So there were some lessons learned on that, and one of them had to do with getting back in the kayak, and it had influence on this trip and what I'm wearing. That's why I want to point this out. So look, I was in Florida. The water temperature was like 80 degrees, and I had my flats clothes on, so getting back into the kayak, there was no additional weight added by my clothes. But I thought about, look, I would always wear a neoprene surf top to do this kind of fishing here in the cold water, because yeah, it's like 52 degrees. But this time I've got a 3mm Farmer John wetsuit underneath my clothes. So, the thought is that, hey, if I was to go in with clothes and they're soaking wet, and that neoprene surf top I know gets a little bit heavier when it's wet, that could make it hard to get back in the kayak. Certainly having the buoyancy of the Farmer John wetsuit, plus the warmth, obviously, that could make a huge difference. So, yeah, there's something I learned. So, yeah, if you haven't seen that video, it is my best ever, and there's way more than just a flip going on there. It's a spectacular fishing video, but yeah, definitely learned some lessons, and I'm putting them into use right now by wearing a wetsuit underneath my clothes. All right, so I'm in like 10 to 20 feet of water, but it's very uneven. So what I'm doing is I'm throwing just up current a little bit, and I'm letting it just settle to the bottom. I want to watch that line and feel it hit the bottom, and then I'm going to move it. And I'm going to try. Look, it's low and slow here. Water's cold. Just trying to stay near the bottom, stay in that near bottom strike zone. And yeah, I mean, at times, what I'll actually do is flip the bail, let the line go back down to the bottom when I think I'm getting too far off the bottom. And yeah, so that's basically it. And as far as location, I mean, I'm just looking for structure, bar edges, channel edges, that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm drifting. It's my third bucktail cast, and I've adjusted the cast a little bit. I'm just watching that line. I want to see that bottom tap. Oh, a fish! Holy crap! I know it's what's supposed to happen, but oh, wait a minute! No, he's still on. Feels like it came all of a sudden. It like came off or something, and then maybe fouled him. Very strange. I think that's what happened. I think it pulled and then it fouled him. Suddenly he got heavier. First kayak fish of the season. This is very strange. I'm almost certain I'm going to see a foul hook fish here. It wasn't initially foul hooked. Or I'm wrong. It's just a better fish than I thought it was. Must have been coming at me. Yeah, it's right in the mouth. Nice fish. There we go. Oh, that was weird. Okay. So this is my first striped bass of the season, and that is a pretty darn nice first striped bass on a morning where it's 33 degrees. He must have been coming at me in the beginning because he didn't feel that big, and he woke up. Barely hooked. He's in good shape. Bye-bye. Alright. Guess I'm fishing. Holy crap, a fish just broke over here. Alright, and I'm spot locked. not on any kind of a spot here. I gotta go back up. So I fished 2 hours. You just saw the totality of the action I had. I had that one fish on the third cast. Right after I released it, I saw one come up. I worked this whole thing up and down, plugs and bucktails. Not another touch. All right, so let's move on to the shore portion of this video. All right, I started early like I usually do. You can see there's plenty of daylight now. I think I've fished about an hour. I've got nothing. All right, 1 to 1.5 ounce bucktails. Got a good amount of current here, so basically sometimes just letting that bucktail drift down current. But I'm at a point where I'm thinking about making some changes. All right, I'm going to shorten up the next cast, and then I'm going to try Topwater. All right, so why shorten up the cast? Well, look at the beautiful water I've got, probably 30 to 50 feet in front of me. If you're throwing straight out or even up current a little bit on a long cast, you're never going to be able to fish effectively that water. You've got to tighten the cast up a little bit. In inlet fishing, it's like that a lot. I mean, it's very easy to just overcast the fish all the time. So you've got to vary your casting distance, vary your casting placement to work all that good water. Right now I feel like it's a needle in a haystack because I'm just not doing anything. But I'm trying to think a few moves ahead. If I don't do anything tighter, I'm going to try a Topwater, try something else. I was just thinking about Topwater. Oh, little guy. Haven't been seeing a lot of small ones. It's a little scary. Yeah, and I'm referring to the last couple of seasons where you don't see too much below 26 inches. Yeah, hopefully that changes. We need small fish to make big fish. Yeah, so what are other people up and down the coast seeing in that regard? Is anybody on a lot of small stuff? And I'm talking about like, 16 to 22 inches. That's classes I'm not seeing. Yeah, leave a comment either way. I'd like to know. Typical early season little guy, huh? Boy, those two little ones pretty close together. Oh, that's why they call them schoolies. But then nothing. You could tell time has passed. It's gotten lighter. Before quitting, I'm going to try a pencil popper. Cover some topwater. Now, how can there not be a fish there? How can there not be a fish on that corner? Not even a boil. So like the main point for trying the pencil for me is I can cover so much more water than I can with the bucktail. So I can hit a bunch of water that I haven't hit yet, just hoping to find a fish. Oh, somebody's there. One of those little schoolies. Oh, good boil. Oh yeah, come on. That was a great hit. But it's a bass. Yeah, nice one. All right, well that perked me up and kept me motivated. But this is at least 45 minutes later. I mean, it's slow, but keep hoping for another one. I still have a little water movement. Really unexpected. Hope he stays on. Man. Oh, that's a really good one. That's a surprise. It's like slack water. he's going to explode at some point here. I'll be surprised if I'm overestimating this. I mean, look at that push. Everything about this is good fish. Yeah. Huh. You know, nice fish, not quite. I mean, it's a really good one, but I thought he might be bigger than that. All right, nice to see a couple at the end there. That was my last hit. Yeah, I certainly had to work for anything I could get this past week. But all right, it's a start, and it's only going to get better as the water gets warmer. All right, if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. Check out my online courses at saltstrong.com/Skinner. Don't forget my books. Remember, those books make great gifts. You can learn more about the books at johnskinnerfishing.com and on Amazon.